Hey, what is up mortals, it is JamesCfer here, and before we get into today's video, there's a few things I'd like to say. Firstly, we are 200 subscribers off 6,000. When we hit 6,000, I'll be announcing the winner of the giveaway, and all you have to do to enter the giveaway is like the video, comment on the video, and be subscribed. You don't actually have to like, I can't actually track that, but anyway, let's quickly get through this intro. I would like to thank my supporters on Patreon, these being Sora and Ariel. There's a link down there to my Patreon if you'd like to support myself. If you want to join the Discord, there's a link in the description to that as well. And yeah, so where we left off, Izuku just passed the entrance exam, and he was now meeting his new classmates and teacher. Deku gets an extremely similar hero suit as in the original, as his mum still made it for him, and there's not really a massive change here, so let's fast forward to the first training. It's the same teams, so everything is pretty much the same. So in the match, it's Deku and Ochako vs Ida and Bakugo. Bakugo begins this by trying to jump Deku, but Deku reacts to him and hits him with a small and weak energy blast, not trying to hurt him but just trying to push him back. This sends Bakugo flying towards the wall, and he slams against it pretty hard. He rushes back and yells, "Damn monkey boy, I won't lose to a nerd like you, I'm the #1 student here." Deku tells Ochako to go towards the nuke. He'll catch up with her as soon as he can. Bakugo tries over and over and over to actually hit Deku, but Deku's able to use his reaction speed to actually just dodge, weave out of the way, and his just combat speed and reaction time is just too great for Bakugo. He dodges and counters Bakugo blow for blow. Bakugo just gets madder and madder, forgetting about the environment and just destroying the building. Deku realizes that he needs to knock him out so that they can end this fight so that he can go help Ochako. So he waits for Bakugo to charge in. Then Deku jumps onto his shoulders and then just pushes him down by jumping off of him. He uses just enough force, or what he judges to be just enough force, to cause Bakugo to slam into the ground, knocking him out. Deku pushed off Bakugo and starts heading towards where Ochako was. He's a little bit astounded by his own new speed. Ochako is waiting upstairs hiding and waiting for Deku to arrive, but Ida notices her and tells her to come out. "Come out, hero! I know you're there!" Suddenly a loud bang can be heard from around the other side of the room. It's Deku. He just punched his way through one of the walls so that he could actually get to them because there was only one entrance. He comes through the wall, moving pretty fast even for Ida's standards. Ida goes to react, but Deku yells, "Wind Vortex!" and throws a ki-enhanced punch, which causes a mini shockwave of directional force that hits Ida in the stomach, slamming him back into the wall. You can see the indents on the wall from where he was hit. Deku and Ochako actually pass this time. Instead of their actions being considered reckless, it was actually considered rather strategic to take them out one by one. Everyone was a bit impressed that Izuku was able to take out Bakugo so easily. The rest of the matchups go pretty much exactly the same. Bakugo later asks Deku what his quirk is, and how the hell did he get a quirk? "You were quirkless, Izuku. It's always been this way. How did you get a quirk? I'm supposed to be #1. Bakugo's visibly crying when he says this. "It's supposed to be me." Bakugo is visibly upset and he decides to leave. He's not quitting UA in this version, but he has something to prove. He has to be better than Deku. He will find a way to be better than Deku. Not long after Bakugo leaves, All Might comes up to Izuku. "Young man, I believe it's time to inform you of something. For reason of my training of young Mirio, you're one of the few students that I can actually risk informing of this. As your actions, they've spoken louder than pretty much anything you could say." All Might starts to explain that he's quirkless, and that the quirk is called One for All, and that it was given to him. Deku says how that's impossible and there's no way to transfer quirk. All Might replies, "Yes, it may sound exotic, but let me finish. You see, the origins of this was long ago, when a man with a quirk named All for One could steal quirks and give them away. He forcibly gave his seemingly quirkless younger brother a quirk that allowed him to stockpile power. However, this brother did have a quirk. It had no effect other than it could be transferred to others. The little brother used this quirk to try and fight against his older brother. However, he just wasn't strong enough, so he decided to entrust the quirk to future generations, hoping that one day it would be strong enough to take down the evil that is his brother. That day came a few years ago, when I took down All for One. You knew the truth about One for All, and the reason I'm telling you this is because of what my former sidekick has recently informed me of. Sir Night Eye. He has told me that you and Mirio will both go up against this man. In the version of events that he sees, you two both die, and it's at that moment that One For All is lost forever. I hope that by informing you that we can change that future. Izuku looks a bit pale. He was just told that he's gonna die. All Might then goes on to tell Izuku how he could have been a potential successor, except he already had Muriel in mind. Maybe if he had been quirkless, things might have been different, but the situation just wasn't right. He also tells Izuku that, considering the power of his quirk, he might even surpass One For All one day. Wouldn't that be the day All Might laughs? A lot from here takes place nearly identically to the anime. Deku and Ochako learn about Ida's family, and Deku finds out from his mum that if he looks at a full moon, he'll turn into a giant ape, and he tells both Ida and Ochako this, and they must not tell anyone, but if there's a situation where it's nighttime and it's a full moon, I might not be too useful, so please just keep this in mind. Ochako asks, what can't your quirk do? Sooner or later you're gonna tell me that you can fly. Izuku explains the one and only way to stop the ape transformation, at least as Mum's told him about. There's the villain break-in attempt where there's mobs of crowds and a false alarm where the press get into the school. Ida manages to stop that just like in the anime, and that goes on as usual really. Deku votes for Ida to be class rep, and that goes identically to the anime as well. Now it's time for the USJ. All Might's used up all of his time for that day, just like in the anime. He took down 7 criminals in 1 hour. When they arrive, a strange black purplish portal pops up, and the League of Villains starts showing up. Aizawa starts to fight, and he tries to get the students out of there, so they go with 13 to leave. Everyone gets split up as normal, and the villains are trying to get to the students. Another black portal appears, and everyone is split up. Deku, Sue, and Mineta nearly perform the exact same combo as they did in the original one, except Deku uses an energy blast to push them up and to blast the water. This drains him of about 2/3 of his ki, just doing a single one. Mineta throws his sticky balls, trying to stick everything up again, and as they land, Deku and Mineta and Sue see Aizawa bleeding out, his skin crackled. Because of this, Deku starts to power up. He's not doing this quite on purpose, he normally tries to keep all of his energy controlled, but now he's just releasing it out of all pores of his body. He's not trying to stay in control, he's trying to release as much as he can, so that when he needs to, he's got all of the power around him. This is a little technique that Izuku's been trying to develop. He calls it his aura. You can see in his aura that it's just waving around and you can see part of it going off, so there's a lot of loss in his ki. Deku sees the Nomu that's pretty much holding Aizawa down. Deku launches himself at the Nomu trying to hit it with all of his might, and he hits it, and pretty much nothing happens. Then the Nomu flicks Deku away. This breaks some of Deku's bones, as when he gets hit, he just goes straight into the wall, getting indented into it. Thankfully, due to this aura, he didn't get killed. Deku pulls himself out of the wall and he lands on the ground. The aura around him intensifies and glows brighter. You can see it from pretty much anywhere inside of the USJ. Deku is embracing his Saiyan side at the moment. He's letting into the anger. He's not thinking through what he's about to do. He moves like a comet towards the Nomu, not realizing that All Might has arrived and is about to start fighting the Nomu. The second that Izuku actually throws a punch at the Nomu, All Might arrives as well, throwing a punch. The two hit the Nomu at the exact same time. The only difference is All Might's hitting the Nomu much harder. Deku and All Might begin to hit the Nomu as quickly and as hard as they can, both of them pushing the Nomu back. Deku's barely able to dodge some of the attacks, and his aura is just barely blocking some of them. You can see the parts in the aura where it just shatters away as the Nomu throws a punch. Deku's hit in the arm and his arm breaks, but he's still got one arm and he just focuses all of his ki as the aura builds up around his arm. All Might hits the Nomu away and Izuku just pushes all of the aura he has into his hand and fires the largest energy blast he can. A massive amount of green ki just flies out as he says, "All Might blast!" The smoke clears and the Nomu's lower body is gone, and then All Might just comes in and launches the Nomu far away as it begins to regenerate. All Might coughs and then looks at Izuku. "Trying to put me out of the job already? Can't let you do that just yet, because for now I'm the symbol of peace and justice. Thank you for your help, young Midoriya." All Might goes down to one knee, not having used up the same amount of One For All. He's still got enough for 2 more hits if need be. The game ends with the final blow from All Might. Tomura says, "They cheated. It was supposed to only be one-on-one. Who said this kid could start playing? He was supposed to be dead. Kurogiri, kill him." A portal opens up below Izuku and he begins to fall. All Might, noticing this, moves incredibly quickly to grab Izuku, but it's too late. He was just slightly too far away. Izuku falls through the portal and he's gone. Next thing Izuku knows, he's being held up by his hair with Tomura holding his hand to Izuku's throat, all except for one finger. Izuku feels exhausted. He's almost out of ki. He's pretty much got nothing left. If he uses any more, he'll just pass out. All Might's just standing there. He knows he can't do anything. If he tries to, he won't make it there in time. The steam starts to appear around All Might, and Izuku realizes what's happening. Izuku pushes one of his hands behind his back very slowly, and with the last little bit of his ki, he blasts Tomura in the stomach. Thankfully, he didn't have enough ki to actually kill Tomura, and Izuku falls to the ground passing out, but Tomura is knocked out from this. He gets sent back flying, and in that moment, All Might comes in and knocks him out. The other heroes arrive at this moment. Tomura pulls himself back up as All Might's standing less than 2 meters away, and he's shot in the arm. "Kurogiri, it's time to retreat." All Might says, "You're not going anywhere." It's at this moment that something happens to All Might. Something feels wrong. Part of his body changes back to normal. His whole arm has. He quickly pulls his arm in front of himself so that the students who are behind him cannot see. Kurogiri uses this chance to get the two of them out of there. The rescue attempt for the most part has been a success. They captured most of the villains and no one died. Deku's in the nurse's office with All Might. All Might asks him if he's okay, and Izuku says, "Yeah, I think so," and then Izuku asks him if he's okay, and All Might says, "I believe so." He buffs up that arm again, still looking at it a bit confused of what happened. All Might thinks to himself, "I can't be running out of time this quickly." All Might asks Deku, "What was that power back then? What was that aura?" Izuku says, "I'm not really sure. I was trying to release all of the aura to try and make myself faster, but I'm not sure what that was." All Might thinks, "Maybe I'll question it later. I'm not quite sure what I should do about this. He could be possibly dangerous. If he has that much power, then we really need to work to train him to control it. Imagine if he lost control like that in a training situation. Do I tell this kid that I'm losing my power? No, what would be the point?" All Might gets up and tells Izuku, "We need to work on controlling that power of yours. Anyway, for now, best of luck. Take care, young Midoriya. And thank you." All Might gets up and leaves. And that's where we're going to end it for this part. Thank you all for watching this video. I'm sorry that it was a bit long and bit tedious. I'm actually a bit sick at the moment, and it's a bit hard to do these scripts, but it's the only time it hasn't been raining and the only chance I've had to do it. So thank you for watching. If you would like to take part in the giveaway, subscribe and leave a comment. It ends at 6,000 subs, and if you want a Once Justice giveaway, or want a copy of Once Justice, you might want to take part in this giveaway. It will be going to any console, and there will only be one winner. I'll be doing another giveaway at the end of this. Anyway, that's it for this video. Peace out, mortals. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining.